a.k.a. Mr. Moo, Woo, Shine himself, a.k.a. El Bobo, a.k.a. El Sazon, a.k.a. El Borracho. Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Ward, one of the greatest fighters to ever wear a pair of gloves, an Olympian. Before he retired, was pound for pound #1 in a lot of people's lists. Andre Ward feels that Manny Pacquiao should gracefully bow out. Now, this is not no Jay-Z verse, but you understand what I'm trying to say. That's what Andre Ward said. That Manny Pacquiao should gracefully bow out. That Manny Pacquiao is 42 years old. That Manny Pacquiao just can't be going into training camp with 6 different sparring partners and things of that nature, and then get in the ring with 8-ounce gloves. And, you know, this is a dangerous sport. I understand what Andre Ward has to say. As a matter of fact, it's the most logical thing to really, if you want to analyze what Manny Pacquiao should do next. Of course, man, and most of the time, not most of the time, but all the time, we try to break things down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. Andre Ward retired young, younger than what people feel like he should have retired, but at the end of the day, he's the one that going out there and taking those type of blows. Maybe, you know, he set himself up. Maybe he had a different goal than Manny Pacquiao. Because at the end of the day, we like, yo, why Manny Pacquiao was still fighting? What's driving Manny Pacquiao? What's motivating Manny Pacquiao? What's inspiring? What's truly inspiring Manny Pacquiao? I mean, you remember Manny Pacquiao said that he just wants to fight the best. But in reality, you know that night, his last fight with Ugas wasn't fighting the best. I know that Manny Pacquiao wasn't in the Philippines, and instead of during the pandemic, he said, I want to come back and I want to fight Ugas. It was supposed to be that he wanted to fight the likes of Earl Spence, Timothy Bradley, and probably could have done the exhibition with Conor McGregor or something like that. But he wanted a challenge. He never mentioned Ugas' name. He didn't need to mention Ugas' name, but he never wanted to mention, he never really mentioned Ugas. You understand what I'm trying to say? Maybe Manny Pacquiao. We got to be real with each other, because I believe to be that great, you got to have an ego. To be that great, and yes, Manny Pacquiao, 8th Division World Champion, 5 lineal, 12-time champion, the ambassador, the senator, the humanitarian, the great father, the great husband, the great karaoke singer of them all, Manny Pacquiao, the GOAT. You got to have some cockiness. You got to have some selfishness. You got to have that. And he is a great, humble person, but let's not neglect that to be that great and to the point where we don't understand that greatness is abnormal. The greatness of Manny Pacquiao is abnormal. So a lot of people may love it, may witness it, but they don't understand what it takes to be a Manny Pacquiao. And maybe other greats can't understand to be a Manny Pacquiao. They don't understand his motivation. They don't understand his inspiration. And maybe Andre Ward was a great fighter, and he's going down as a Hall of Famer. But he might not understand that level of greatness, or why Manny Pacquiao wants to keep on going. And probably, exercise his option in that contract that he had. He had 3 fights, but with an option, and he might exercise it. He's not talking about retirement. As a matter of fact, Manny Pacquiao probably being smart and waiting so the adrenaline to stop pumping, so he could he will be clear head, because of course right after the fight you want to get that get back. Oh, I lost Ugas, I want to get that back. And congratulations to you to Dennis Ugas. What Andre Ward is saying is highly logical. Highly logical. 42 years old. But me, I'm like 42 years old, but that's a freak of nature, 42 years old. But then they're going to be like, yo, punch. But he did live 42 years old. He couldn't move versus Ugas. And if Manny Pacquiao what makes him special is his legs as well. If he can't move from a Ugas, how is he going to move off of Earl Spence or off of Bud Crawford? They do a number on them. But, just like we want to keep it logical and objective and things of that nature, I said this leading up to Ugas. I said it's not going to be easy. And people be like, nah. Even Manny Pacquiao's camp was like, he got all the experience in the world, I mean, it's not like he don't need to really prepare for Ugas. He's already prepared for anybody. And I feel that was a little cockiness in the only part I did not understand. Because I said at this level, because Ugas is one of the top welterweights as well. At the elite level, you just can't fight in a top level fighter with 11 days to go. Scrap the 11 days. They had the last week was was fight week, so they don't do nothing. The camp already ended, so they have 5 days. 5 days, less than that, 4 days to prepare. Manny Pacquiao have 4 days to prepare for Ugas. It doesn't matter, in my opinion, and I'm not going to override anybody. I'm not override, but I'm not going to like overlook what they saying. I want to sound as you know, as genuine as I don't want to sound arrogant and things of that nature, that I know more than boxing heads, or I know more than Manny Pacquiao's camp. But me studying the sport of boxing, I put it like this: there's no way. I know that if Manny Pacquiao was fighting, let's say Ugas, that was the original fight, and then Ugas drops out, and Keith Thurman, 5 days preparation for Keith Thurman, 5 days preparation for Sean Porter, 5 days preparation for Earl Spence, 5 days preparation for Buck Crawford. They would postpone that fight because it wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense. It's not, in my opinion, it wasn't a smart move. The thing what it is that Manny Pacquiao probably was training. He was ready to go. He was ready to fight. He told his people, Ugas, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get this bag. Stylistically, and you already heard what Manny Pacquiao said, that Ugas, he can't believe he lost to Ugas because that's the easiest opponent, because he probably looked at him and be like, he can't do nothing special. He can't move like I could move. My footwork is going to get into position. Even I analyzed that Ugas is tailor-made for a Manny Pacquiao style. But if Manny Pacquiao ain't moving, then it's not tailor-made for a Manny Pacquiao style. And Manny Pacquiao didn't move, especially in the second half of the fight. He was getting landed by jabs, and he was getting landed by right hands that it looked like Manny Pacquiao wasn't even flinching. Meaning he wasn't even trying to block it. Meaning he wasn't even seeing it. And you can't see a Ugas right hand, looping right hand, or you know what I'm saying? Cross and jabs. And Ugas is not the quickest fighter in the world, and he wasn't even catching it. He wasn't catching and shooting. He wasn't getting out the way. It's either Manny Pacquiao didn't see, or Manny Pacquiao just wasn't fazed with his power. So then people started thinking, this is real father time right now. You ain't even watching the punches. You remember Rocky 1? Y'all remember? Or Rocky 2 when his eyes was a little busted and Mickey was like this? And he was telling, you see it? You see the punch coming? You see the punch coming? And Rocky says, yeah. Nah. And then he's like, you see the punch coming? You see the punch? And he smacked Rocky. And he didn't want to train him. He said, you ain't ready? He'll knock you out tomorrow, Rock. He'll kill you. If you can't see those type of punches, imagine the punches of Buck Crawford or Earl Spence. Or a rematch with Keith and Tom Thurman. That guy hit more than ever in his career. The love for Manny Pacquiao. I love Manny Pacquiao. It's hard to be unbiased. It's hard not to give Manny Pacquiao the benefit of the doubt, because we see Manny Pacquiao get robbed. We see Manny Pacquiao lose. And we also see Manny Pacquiao going to the drawing board, adjusting himself, and rising to the occasion once again. And that's what makes Manny Pacquiao the underdog story. The underdog. People love that. People love that storyline. I was one of the first ones months ago. I'm like, yo, Manny Pacquiao, you got nothing left to prove. It's time to go. You got nothing left to prove. You in a win-win situation. You're not even in a lose-lose situation. But Manny Pacquiao, I believe, wants to give it one more go because the preparation wasn't it. And Manny Pacquiao, a smart dude, knows that if he prepares for Ugas for 8 to 10 weeks, I'm not talking about preparing, just get your body right. And I think that's what it was. Yeah, they was prepared, and I believe, yeah, a lot of people were just saying that, in my opinion, just so they could promote the fight and let everybody knows that, you know, the Ugas and Pac fight is going to go through. But in my opinion, no, Manny Pacquiao did not prepare for Ugas. And at this level, you need to prepare for your opponent. I don't even like when people be like, I don't watch no tapes from this other opponent. Nah, that was cockiness, in my opinion, in the part of Manny Pacquiao and his camp, that you felt like, oh, we just gonna get 1 day of sparring and do 30 rounds and prepare for Ugas. It's either y'all thought, or y'all was very highly confident in y'all work, or y'all didn't have no respect for you to Dennis Ugas. Because I know for sure Manny Pacquiao and his team will not allow to fight a top welterweight with 5 days notice. You know that and I know that. Push the bias to the side, push the fans to the side. You know it and I know it. It doesn't make a logical sense. And that's what I'm saying. Why? But Manny Pacquiao didn't want to postpone it. We understand Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is the same guy that had an injured shoulder going into Floyd Mayweather, and he still wanted to go. And people was like, "Yo, if your shoulder was messed up, if it had a tear or anything of that nature, you should have postponed it." But Manny Pacquiao said, "No, I already did the work. I want the bag." And I think it's almost like it. It's not like Ugas was ranked number 50 and okay, Errol Spencer's not going to fight, so they bring in a guy that was just ranked number 10 or whatever. It didn't happen. Look how it happened with Anthony Joshua. You think Andy Ruiz was ranked number 20? You think when Andy Ruiz, oh, let me get him in a month notice. It's alright, I'm Anthony Joshua. But this time it was like 4 days notice. Well, they didn't even have no sparring work for a Ugas because they betted on all the experience and all them training camps in the past. It is not the same. Every fight is not the same. This is why they say you can't overlook your opponent. Every experience is that experience. And Manny Pacquiao's camp. You have to save your fighter. You have to save him. Save them from making the decision because these are fighters. And when they're in that mode, they think they could beat the world. It doesn't matter. Put anybody in front of me and I'll take them out. This is why this is why Manny Pacquiao has a team, and this is why every boxer has a team. You got to save them from themselves sometimes. The trainer have to save them from themselves. The promoter, the advisor, that's why they have a job. Your team, your trainer, your confidant. Manny Pacquiao was not supposed to fight Ugas at a 5 days notice. And I think that's the reason Manny Pacquiao looks back and be like, if I prepare 8 weeks, 10 weeks for him with his style, I got him. And I think if he does, he will get him. And this is why I'm one of the ones that be like, you know what? One more fight. One more fight. One more fight. One more fight, Manny. One more fight, Pacquiao. One more fight, Manny. One more fight, Pacquiao. Not saying that Ugas is not a competitive and he's gonna give everything it needs to take for him to be successful in that fight with Manny Pacquiao. But if Manny Pacquiao has his 8 to 10 weeks of training camp, I think he gets back to he gets Ugas. You could see vice versa. Ugas didn't have enough time to prepare for Manny Pacquiao. See it both ways. But I still think with Manny Pacquiao preparing and having his leg and his skill for skill, it still caters to Manny Pacquiao. Ugas still caters to Manny Pacquiao style. If you go toe-to-toe, maybe not because, hey, Dennis Ugas is a smart fighter on the inside. He doesn't waste his positioning. He doesn't waste his punches. But he gets hit. And he was getting hit with combinations. But then when you stop moving and stop defending and stop playing sometimes to the crowd, I believe that Manny Pacquiao does play to the crowd. I think that Manny Pacquiao wanted to do this for the fans. He was already working. He didn't want to go back because he's still a senator. He still got to work on his time. I got to do this before I need to go back to work. I understand that a lot of people want Manny Pacquiao to retire, and I think that's the logical thing. Who's going to say Manny Pacquiao from himself? Everybody go check out my last episode, episode 45 of the Smelling Salt podcast. I'm talking about that. But the only problem is that I cannot compare Manny Pacquiao to anybody. He's a freak of nature. He's in another level of greatness. So I understand everything Andre Ward is saying. That's the type of shit what Andre Ward is saying. You're like, it's true, man. Because I've said it. But to get that get back, for Manny Pacquiao to leave in his own way, and I told you it's going to be hard. I even said it, that somebody's going to have to save Manny Pacquiao from himself when it's time to retire because Manny Pacquiao feeds off that adrenaline of the fans. And ain't nothing going to buy that. That adrenaline when he's walking out the ring with the din, 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 din. And then the crowd, yo, Manny. Look at Manny Pacquiao when he's training. There's no type of money that could buy that you could experience that. See, Manny Pacquiao, man, Manny Pacquiao gets love like I never seen. When I was out there, man, it was electric. That's a drug. And Manny Pacquiao gets high off that. That's Manny Pacquiao's fix. It's the crowd, it's the people. Nobody got it like that. And it's hard to leave that. It don't matter how much money you got, it's hard to leave that. And I think also that's the reason Manny Pacquiao can't let that go. This is his life. He said this is his joy. This is his love. How can you leave something that you in love with? And that's fighting. Preparation. The roar, the fans. It's going to take a long time for somebody for Manny Pacquiao to really come with that conclusion and say, I'm done. That's why sometimes fighters like that need to be saved from themselves. We don't want Manny Pacquiao to be like Muhammad Ali and these other greats, you know, that suffered a lot of pain. We don't want to see him end up like Colon. We don't want to see them end up like a Patrick Day. We don't, God forbid, we don't want to see him end up now with his faculties. He still got young kids to take care of and a wife to attend to. And the people love Manny Pacquiao. I even thought that Muhammad Ali could have done so much greater things if he did have his faculties in order. Can you imagine the impact? Maybe for all my selfish reason, I would like to see Manny Pacquiao for one more fight. But deep down inside my heart, I know that it's time for Manny Pacquiao maybe to gracefully bow out. But I don't think that's Manny Pacquiao's image. He's an underdog. And if he bows out when he's down, that's not the Manny Pacquiao way. The Manny Pacquiao way is to rise to the top. It's to be that underdog and beat the odds. And Manny Pacquiao is going to walk out on top by beating the odds. That's the definition of his whole career. I think he's going to exercise the option. And guess what? When he does, and they make whatever fight, I'm going to be there. Because ain't nothing like a Manny Pacquiao, and ain't nothing like a Manny Pacquiao experience. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, get my updated videos. I love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.